Have you ever tried to break a bad habit and found yourself right back where you started? You're not alone. In fact, breaking bad habits is one of the most common challenges we all face, and it's tough. Whether it's something like procrastination, smoking, or even spending too much time on your phone, habits are powerful. But today, I'm going to share some practical steps that will help you break those habits for good. These steps are simple, but they take effort and commitment. Let's dive in. First things first, let's talk about what a bad habit really is. A bad habit is any behavior or action that negatively affects your life. Think about things like procrastination, unhealthy eating, binge-watching TV, or even the simple act of spending too much time on your phone. We all have something in our lives that we wish we could change, but the problem with habits is that they're sneaky. They become automatic over time, and sometimes we don't even realize how much control they have over us. The good news is that habits follow a pattern. There's a trigger, a routine, and a reward. The trigger is something that sets off the habit. It could be a feeling, a place, or an event. Then comes the routine. That's the habit itself. And finally, the reward, which is what your brain gets out of it. Maybe it's a feeling of satisfaction or relief. Now that we understand the habit loop, the key to breaking a bad habit is disrupting this loop. And that's what we're going to do together today. Step 1 is awareness. You need to notice when, where, and why your habit happens. Ask yourself, what triggers the habit? Is it stress? Boredom? Maybe it's something as simple as being in a certain environment or around certain people. For example, maybe you find yourself snacking late at night while watching TV. What's triggering that behavior? Are you just bored? Or is it something else like feeling stressed after a long day? The first step to breaking a bad habit is to get clear on what's happening before you can change it. I recommend keeping a habit journal for a few days. Write down when the habit occurs, what you were doing, and how you were feeling. This will help you become more aware of the pattern, and once you understand it, you can begin to change it. Here's the thing about breaking habits. You can't just eliminate them overnight. Trying to cut a habit out completely is often not effective. Instead, you should aim to replace the bad habit with a new, healthier one. This is a much more sustainable approach. Let's say your habit is scrolling on your phone for hours at night. Instead of trying to completely eliminate screen time, replace it with something else. You could read a book, listen to a podcast, or even do some light stretching before bed. By replacing your habit with something more productive or enjoyable, you'll gradually rewire your brain to associate the trigger with a new, positive routine instead of the old, bad one. Remember, it's not about eliminating the bad habit. It's about replacing it with something that serves you better. Step 3 is to start small. If you're serious about breaking a habit, you have to start with small, manageable changes. Don't try to overhaul everything at once, because that's a recipe for burnout. Let's say your goal is to stop eating junk food. Instead of going cold turkey, try cutting back slowly. Start by eliminating one unhealthy snack a day. Once you feel comfortable with that, remove another. This gradual approach gives your brain time to adjust, and it feels less overwhelming. Small changes add up over time, and before you know it, you'll look back and realize how much progress you've made without feeling like you've been depriving yourself. Step 4 is accountability. It's so much easier to stick to your goals when you have someone to hold you accountable. Find someone, whether it's a friend, family member, or even an online community, to check in with you regularly. When you know someone is watching your progress, or when you have to report back, it adds an extra layer of motivation. This accountability can make all the difference. You don't have to go through this journey alone. There are people who will support you, and if you're open about your goals, you'll be more likely to stick with them. Finally, reward yourself. Breaking bad habits can be tough, so it's important to celebrate your wins, big or small. When you make progress, take a moment to acknowledge it and give yourself a little treat. This doesn't mean you should reward yourself with something that contradicts your goal, but small rewards can keep you motivated. Maybe it's treating yourself to a favorite activity or indulging in something you enjoy after reaching a milestone. These rewards create a positive reinforcement loop that makes you more likely to continue your new habit. Now, I know it's not always easy. Breaking habits takes time, and sometimes it feels like you're not making progress. But let me tell you, change is possible. I used to struggle with procrastination. I would plan my day, but end up wasting hours scrolling through social media or watching YouTube videos. The turning point came when I applied these steps. I started by identifying my triggers, stress, and deadlines. I replaced my procrastination habit with taking small, focused breaks and working in short bursts. Slowly but surely, I began to build a routine that worked for me, and the more I stuck to it, the more productive I became. It wasn't an overnight fix, but with time and patience, I was able to turn things around. You can too. Breaking bad habits takes time and effort, but with the right approach, you can do it. So, what's one habit you're going to break today? Start small, be consistent, and remember, it's a journey, not a race. If you found this video helpful, make sure to share it with someone who might need it too. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on how to improve your life, one step at a time.